friend. For those, how are you today? I posted a video on Retno yesterday. How many of you guys have watched it? Followers has and my follower list has increased by 400 people, which is pretty amazing. Definitely one of the best results, like follower gaining result I have ever had. So must be because the content itself is pretty interesting. So if you haven't really watched it, haven't really seen it, definitely check it out. Okay, will you? Will you, my friend? I'm still trying to set things up. Hello, hi Hector. Hello, girls. Greetings from El Salvador. It's 5:36 p.m. Tuesday. Great, my friend. Never been to El Salvador. I got to know a bit about your country from the news where it says that your president made Bitcoin as one of your official currency. And then that's when I got to know about your country. Yeah. And let me see what to wear today. Okay. Necklace. Beautiful necklace. Yeah, nobody is perfect. What do you mean by nobody is perfect? Every day I'm just having a hard time wearing necklace all by myself. Okay, fantastic. Looks like I'm pretty skilled at wearing necklaces. And what else to wear, my friend? Let's see. Yeah, looks good. Thank you, my friend. Have you guys followed me? Have you guys followed me? If you haven't done so, please follow me, okay? Yeah, and tap the screen to send in links. Okay, all right. Yeah, how do I look? Do I look good? Do I look good, my friend? Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, my friend. As always, every day's live stream is about China and the world, okay? Or East versus West. We can do a lot of discussion about culture, about history, about many things, okay? So if you have any questions about China, if you have any great topics you would like to discuss, just like on this paper fan, let me know, okay? Let me know in the comments. Just please keep on sending questions in the comments. Anything about China, okay? Just like on this paper fam. Anything about China, just send in the comments and we can discuss, okay? I would also discuss some of the topics that I find interesting. So it would be greater if we discuss topics that you guys are interested in. And one way of doing that is you guys just send in your questions or like the topics there that you are interested in the comments so that we can discuss in depth, okay? Like many people said, I'm pretty knowledgeable. So don't just use your stereotype and feel like, oh, okay, so she's a pretty lady, then she might not know a lot. That's not true, okay? I am someone who's caught by people that has both the appearance and also the brain. So test me. Okay. Yeah. I'm not Chinese American. I am 100% Chinese. One of the big strengths I have is, according to many people, that I don't have an accent when I speak English. Somehow I also consider that to be a disadvantage because like people just don't treat me as 100% Chinese, and that seems to be a disadvantage given that like the topic of my live stream is about China. Like it's better to make people feel that I am Chinese so that the kind of things I share would seem to be more authentic. How's your accent so American? I don't know, my friend. I don't know. I never realized that my accent is like that American and up to a point that I have no accent according to many people. I don't know about that until I started the live stream, and many people come in and said that no, you have no accent, like, or there's only like 1% of the words that you speak has some accent if you're a Chinese accent. Like almost 99% of the things you talk about is like zero accent. I seriously I didn't know that until I started the live stream and talked to so many people like screen to screen. I want to say face to face, but it's not face to face, right? The screen to screen, and so many Americans directly comment in the comment section and told me that I have no accent. Then I realized, okay, so my English is pretty good that I don't have accent. I seriously don't know about that because I do have many friends from America, from other countries, and people would say that, oh, you speak very good English, but they wouldn't say something like comment about the accent, you know? No accent. I can tell the posh English accent from how you learn English in China. That would be great. I want to have some accent. I want to people feel that I am Chinese. I have like Chinese accent. So, you know what? That's what I want. Yeah. So, yeah, it would be great if like I have some accent. That's because that's something I wish. Yeah. You have about 5 to 10% accent, which is great, because I do want people to feel like I'm Chinese. Yeah. You look amazing. Seems tube smarter than thank you, my friend. Yeah. Did you study in America? I only did an exchange program in the US for 1 semester. I spent majority of the time studying English, studying in China from primary school all the way to undergrad degrees. And then I did a master's degree in London where I should pick up London accent. I did to pick up British accent, but somehow like American accent is easy to learn and to talk. That is why like I later on, start talking American accent. Yeah. Funny how the Chinese accent is a really posh, clear English accent. Okay, really, my friend. Yeah, what's your degree? Master degree. Okay. So I did master degree in finance in London School of Economics. That's my highest degree. Yeah. Americans define Midwest accent as no accent. Okay, interesting. I can hear the Brit a little. Yeah, I can hear your English and North American accent too. Wait, what's North American accent? Like, I know the Southern American accent because back then in university years, I did an exchange program in UT Austin. It was really funny that like people in Texas have a very strong Texan accent that I don't honestly don't really get it, like don't really understand when people talk in Texan accent back then because my back then my English was not as good as now, right? So I remember there were some professors talking in class with like really strong Texan Texas accent that I don't really understand at all. Like throughout the entire semester, I had no idea what this professor was talking about because I couldn't understand the accent. And also, I did an internship in like capital of Austin or something like that. Like definitely their government system, like 1 semester's internship, and also their like chief official also has a very very strong Texas accent. Yeah, so I feel like my impression, I remember like Texas accent has like the ending always like tilted above, like the tone is always like something like tilted above. Like I don't really remember the exact Texas accent, but I remember the tone is very different from the kind of English I hear from like movies or cartoons where they speak like really, really accurate, you know, kind of, well, not accurate, I would say like really, really like English with no accent. Yeah. Something about the accent. Yeah. I'm an Englishman living in Canada. You have a mix of general American or Canadian. What's the difference between American accent and Canadian accent? Like maybe it's just some sounds like some tiny words, right? Because to us Chinese people, like American accent and Canadian accent are basically just the same, like very similar, maybe just little some tiny words. Okay, whose is house? Really, do Canadian people say house as whose? Is Tsinghua University the best university in Asia? Definitely one of the best university in China. So in China, there are altogether two best universities. Okay, one is Peking University, Beijing 大学, and the other is Tsinghua University, Tsinghua University. And I shared yesterday in yesterday's live that Tsinghua University was actually established or developed by Americans? you know, no, we don't. So you have a Canadian friends come in and said that you guys don't say house as whose, right? But David Ed said like you guys said say house as whose. yeah, yeah, guys, follow me, please, okay? Canadian accent and Northern USA overlap. Yeah, so in China, we also have like all sorts of different accent, okay? And also there's a funny thing, like when we speak Chinese in different accent, the kind of feeling is very different. So there is a talk show performer back then was like extremely popular in China. So he kind of, just copy the kind of accent from different areas in China. And it was so funny that when he speaks the same thing, but in different dialects or different like Chinese accent, the kind of feeling he delivers is so different. For example, in northeast part of China, in north part of China, where people are usually look taller, like stronger, and they are like relatively tougher. So when they speak everything in their local accent or even their local dialect, everything sounds like so tough. Even like it's female, like it's very short, tiny, like girl starts to use their local accent to speak Mandarin. It feels like looks like still like feels like really tough. However, when it comes to south, the southern area of China, like where people are relatively shorter and softer, and when they use their local accent to talk, like it's so funny. Like he in that talk show performer, he quoted an example of this like a very tall guy and with even lots of chest hair, and then like looks really strong and really tough, and all of a sudden come out and play mahjong with others, right? And he's in Suzhou, and just so you know, the Suzhou dialect is like really really soft compared to many other dialects in China. And when he played mahjong and start to say "bai bai," but Bian, a very tall and strong guy with lots of chest hair, and then like extremely tough. And all of a sudden, when he said but Bian, looks like so soft. Yeah, it's also like really interesting, like how different dialects is gonna change how people look and how people talks. Yeah. Have you guys watched the movie Fargo? They really sounds like that. No, what's the movie of Fargo about? And Eastern Canadians have a much heavier accent than the Western Canadians. 声音有点小啊，声音有点小，我来看一下，声音怎么样？现在好一点吗？呀，声音现在好一点吗，同志们？可以可以，好的行，好点了，OK。And also, guys, can you actually tell me in the comments what accent do you speak? What accent do you speak, my friend? Can you tell me in the comments what's the accent you have, my friend? Hello, hi Wayne. Yeah, what's the accent you guys have? Okay, so currently we're talking about accent. I'm talking like at the very beginning, we talked about the accent between Canada, the difference of accent between Canada and America, and also like it looks like southern, northern, eastern, western American accent, Canadian accent are very different. So, what's the kind of accent do you guys have? Yeah, what's the accent do you guys have? Wanna see what's the accent you guys have? Is this AI? No, it's not AI, my friend. I often got the TH wrong. Italian accent, Jamaican accent. Okay, I am Midwest California surfer. Welcome, David. I speak with French accent from the South. Okay, French accent. French accent is a bit sexy. When you speak English in French accent, that is like pretty sexy. Taiwanese accent. Taiwanese accent is so soft. You know what? For people from mainland China, when we hear Taiwanese talk, especially Taiwanese girls talk, oh my God, my bones are melting. I remember there was a Taiwanese girl, like one like very close friend, and she was like when she talks like Taiwanese accent, and she's like she says, "跟我一起吃啦." And my bone was melting, even though I was a girl, right? I'm a straight. Still, like when this Taiwanese girl talked in like Taiwanese accent in a soft, very very soft tone, I was like, "Oh my God, my bone was melting." And yesterday I saw a very interesting post. I saw the very interesting post posted by one of a Chinese friend from Xiamen. However, due to business, like he would travel from Xiamen to Taiwan very often. Very often. He was saying that there's actually a culture difference between Taiwan and mainland China. because like somehow in Taiwan people are very indirect when they express themselves and more polite compared to mainland Chinese people. So he said that like because he always need to travel between the two places and somehow he has to really like switch it. You know, now it's the mainland Chinese mindset and now it's the Taiwanese mindset because the culture is quite different, you know. 是吗, Derek? Yeah, you know about it, right? Yeah. To be fair, the TV hosts in the media have their own accent as well. Really? Even the TV hosts have their accents in the US because all the TV hosts in China, especially for the TV hosts that broadcast the news, they have no accent. No matter which station is that, if it's a Beijing station, Shanghai station, like the hosts, as long as they're broadcasting news, they don't have accent. Well, if it's like entertainment kind of TV hosts, yeah, some of them do have an accent. However, when it's just news broadcast kind of TV hosts, they don't have accent at all. Yeah. So like back to the Taiwan and difference between Taiwan and China, just so you know, like actually there are lots of commerce going between mainland China and Taiwan, even though there are lots of news around that. However, well, under the table, or actually everyone is like everything is pretty smooth. So there are lots of people working in both places, like work in Xiamen, especially in the Fujian province, right? So Xiamen is a city inside Fujian province. So there's a lots of thing going on between the Fujian province and Taiwan. And the culture difference seems to be very different because lots of people, because one of the content creator I saw yesterday were sharing that. So he quoted an example, like for example, when he's in Xiamen's restaurant and then he wanted to order something. For example, the owner of a restaurant would just come in and said that, you know what, order this fish. We have a new fish come in. Do you want to order it? Well, people might hesitate, say like, well, and the owner would say like, this fish is really fresh and really tasty. It's only in today. You need to order it. Do you want to order it? So if like Taiwan, Taiwan customers would be like, feel really shy of saying no, but at the same time they want to say no, like lots of struggle. And then the Xiamen restaurant owner would say like, okay, are you guys from Taiwan? Oh, 台湾人真墨迹, something like that. They go, you guys are like just be more direct, something like that. And like this content creator, when he traveled to Taiwan, he's like also had lots of culture difference. For example, when he went to a restaurant, for example, if it was a restaurant in Xiamen, he could just say directly to the owner that, hey, do you have a table in here? Do you have a table inside? you know, and the restaurant owner would say like, "Yes, come in, come on in, and take a seat." Right? It's pretty seems common right here in China, right? 里边有位子吗？老板，里边有位子吗？有，进来吧。Right? This is a pretty common kind of conversation, right? However, like when he said like he's in Taiwan, if he went into a restaurant and said the exact same thing, "Hey, do you guys have table in it?" you know, then Taiwanese people would consider that to be quite rude because Taiwan peoples has like more manner, more polite, and actually express many things in a very subtle and indirect way, right? They would say like, "Excuse me, do you have a table in sight now? Can I please come in and sit in the table?" Something like that. 老板，不好意思，请问里面有没有空的位子？现在 something like that. Like unlike the mainland Chinese people, were like more direct. 里边老板里面有位子吗？我可以进去吗？ Something like that. So there's definitely some culture difference between, according to him. I don't remember that. I've been to Taiwan for 3 times. I definitely do feel like I also have lots of Taiwanese friends. The kind of feeling I have is, relatively speaking, like Taiwanese people are, it is true that they are more indirect. Well, because they're more indirect, so also they have like more like manner when it comes to many things. Like they tend to express themselves in what we call like a more polite way, however also in a very indirect way. So if you look at all the Asia cultures, okay, also many places, also it's also a very interesting topic. So if you talk about a culture that is relatively more polite, then that's also means that the culture is less efficient. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So, for example, if you want to be really polite, then you have really to think when you want to express yourselves. What are the words and what are the way you want to elaborate yourself so that people could feel like you are very polite, right? There's a billion of you. Everything is common. I lived in the UK, so I might have an English accent. Tish. Okay. Yeah. Why is China why is China's visa more expensive than Japan? Well, I don't know. How much does it cost to apply for China visa and how much does it cost to apply for Japan visa? Well, I seriously don't know. Yeah, 我是来看美女的，欢迎欢迎。Yeah, and guys, follow me please, okay? Follow me please. Similar to proper Thai, super polite versus loud, more efficient. Yeah, just like the kind of example I just quoted, right? For example, going to a restaurant and you could just say like, 老板有位子吗? Hey, boss, do you have a table inside, right? That is pretty direct, but less polite, right? A more polite way would be like, hey, excuse me, may I please ask if you have a table inside now? Something like that. But that is definitely considered to be less efficient. However, that's a culture difference. So, say for example, if you look at the biggest three countries in when it comes to economy, right? In Asia, which is Japan, Korea, and China. To be honest, in my opinion, okay, guys, in my opinion, okay, some people might disagree. In my opinion, I consider Japan and Korea to be more polite when it comes to like politeness manner than China. For example, especially in Japan, like you see like Japanese people bow a lot, right? They always bow. And also like my friends who live in Japan for many years told me that in Japan they have all those like kind of hierarchy even when it comes to addressing to people. So for example, if I address to someone who's like way senior, like how I address to him or her, and also like the tense I use in the sentences I speak is going to be very different from the person that is like similar age, like very close to me, that I'm just going to be very casual with, like very different. uh, I don't know about that because I don't know Japanese. Okay, I can speak some Japanese because I watched lots of Japanese cartoon when I was little, right? Yeah, like Naruto, the One Piece, kind of those kind of things. Have you guys watched it? How many of you guys have watched Japanese animation? How many of you guys have watched Japanese animation like Naruto, Bleach, like One Piece? These are the kind of things I watch a lot, right? Yeah. So I know some Japanese, but I definitely don't know like lots of the different tenses that they have in their language. After my friend told me, then I realized that okay, Japanese has this like very hierarchy system that people just talk very differently to different people. Yeah, so some people, if they are more senior, then you have really to think hard about what kind of tense you need to use when you address to those like very senior people, right? 听不懂说什么，多听听就能听懂了，宝贝，多听听就听懂了，宝贝。And guys, follow me, please, okay? And also, like my friend said, just because of that, in the Japan society, things can be less efficient because if there's someone who's like extremely old, okay, that's someone like you need to use the most like senior tense, right? Oh, or you meet someone who's extremely young, then you also know that you need to use the extremely the kind of the lowest tense, right? However, what about people in the middle? Like so that's why like whenever you meet someone, you really need to have to judge like what kind of tense is the suitable tense you use when you address to this person, when you talk to this person, right? 听多久能听懂？你讲的挺快的，其实我讲的挺慢的了，我觉得多听听呗，听听就听懂了。Guys, follow me, please, okay? Yeah, so that's very interesting. That's why they say that it's very. So my friend said that's very inefficient in the Japanese society when you meet someone and still have to like do what we call in Chinese 试探, right? You have to really try testing in order to know like decide what kind of tense you should use when you talk to this person, right? And that is like definitely hard. And also for Korea, 我先进考你是不是之前来过我这儿哈？说人话，不是什么叫做说人话？你能不能放尊重一点？你的嘴巴是不是要干净一点？什么叫做说人话？你小时候没学过英文吗？哦，说英文就不叫做说人话了，你开什么玩笑呢你？你要是不明白为什么要说英文，或者说为什么我能够说这么好的英文，你去问国家，问国家为什么我们从小到大要学英文，为什么我们高考要考英文，为什么大学里面还要考4、6级？不是你自己没有上过学吗？你自己没有经过教育吗？还在这边跟我说什么说人话，真的有毛病了，真的是。Whenever I saw people like that, I'm just like makes me really angry, you know. 啊，确实的，都2025年了，还有这样的人，王太太说的太对了。说这个人是不是以前好像来过我这儿，说什么说人话，说人话，说之类的，还有一说什么说人话，别说鸟语的，你自己听不懂是你自己的问题啊，在这边跟我搞什么？自己英文没学好，自己脑子笨，还说我，真的是有毛病了，真的是。Yeah, yeah, not gonna give a shit about it. Yeah, sure, my friend. Yeah, guys, follow me, please, okay? 啊，对，生气也是比较温柔的生气，OK。Yeah, so back to the topic, okay. So Korea, okay. So Korea is also a country relatively speaking compared to China that they have more manner, more well actually I wouldn't say more manner. It makes people feel like Chinese people don't have manners, right? So Korean people also have this kind of like lots of like hierarchy when it comes to being polite to people, have lots of manner kind of things, right? So, for example, like you also see, like Korean society is, to be honest, in my opinion, a little bit scary. Scary in a way that everything is according to the age. Like if someone is older than you, then you have to show as absolute respect to them. Like, right, for example, if someone is older than you in school, in real life, you have to call them like bigger brother or something like that. And also, for example, if you join the army, so every Korean guys will need to join the army for like 2 years, right? That's compulsory in their system. So somehow in their system, like every 2 years, you have to. So for every man, they have to join the army for like 2 years. So if you join the army later than someone, then you have to show absolute respect to the person who joined the army earlier than you. And also, like even after you have like retired, right? You have returned back from the army. Like somehow the kind of system still works according to many of the Korean drama I saw. Like even though you guys have already retired from the army after the 2 years, and you guys should consider each other as equal, right? Because you're no longer a soldier, right? Somehow they still have this kind of like hierarchy thing. Like if you see someone who's like, you still have to bow to them, like show lots of respect to them, Um, that's not like that. It's not like that in China. Okay, it's definitely not like that in China. So there are people who are older than me, but like we still like very equal. Like I don't need to bow to them because simply because they're older than me, right? Sometimes there are people who are like way older than me. Still, I don't need to show those kind of respect as respect to up to that level to those kind of people. Yeah. Yeah, it just sounds like a lot of work to communicate with someone. Exactly. Yeah, so that's why I say that if you look at different cultures in Asia, so there are some cultures in Asia that people are more polite, have lots of manners, which also means they have a lot of work to do just to communicate with someone, decide like what's the hierarchy, what's the kind of seniority, you know? So compared to that, like Chinese have less of that. Like we are like really direct. I guess it's also because 大家一起举报那个三金的。哎呀，家人们，你们可真是太可爱了呀！家人，你们真是太可爱了，谢谢你们。那个 also it's very well Chinese people. I guess the reason why like Chinese people when we talk everything is so direct, so efficient is also because we have really 打卡粉丝团线哦，对对对，大家打卡一下粉丝团。Yeah, guys, follow, join my team, okay? For those of you who have not joined my team, join my team. Those of you who haven't followed me, follow me, okay? Guys, definitely follow me if you haven't done so, and keep on tapping the screen to sending likes, okay? Yeah, and also like I guess the reason why like we have very direct and very efficient way of talking is 我一举报，谢谢你们。Yeah, it's simply because like China has experienced a really, really fast economy growth in the past several decades, right? And when you have like really fast economy growth, that you just need to be very direct when you talk to people, right? If you want to buy something, it's lots of like back and forth, lots of like indirect communication. When you say something, you don't actually mean it. Like for example, like the kind of example I just quoted, right? The restaurant owner in Xiamen, there are lots of guests coming in, lots of people coming in to eat at her restaurant, and she definitely needs to be very direct, like, hey, there's a table in here, sit down, please. And then what do you want to order? We have a new fish in here. Do you want to have a try? Something like really fast and really direct. If it's like, we have a fish. Um, well, what do you want today? If you do it very indirectly, then well, instead of having like 50, 100 tables in, like that's the amount of business you could do, then you could probably just do half of it just because you are actually being so indirect and so polite. Right. So that's also the reason behind. We still usually refer to older brother and sister, uncle and grandpa. What do you mean? Like social knick-knack? Where are you from? I have a question. Where can you buy directly like a website where you don't need? Where can you buy directly like a website where you don't need? What do you mean? Louis Jerome, I don't understand your question. Can you be more direct when you come to this question? I don't quite understand. We used to call uncle, auntie, and uncle all the big people bigger than you. Oh, really, my friend? In the US? So it was also a very big culture difference, my friend, because in the US it looks like people just call their aunt, uncle, their mother-in-law, father-in-law, older sister, older brother directly by the names. Right, my friend? Friends, American friends, tell me, is it right? Right? Basically, you only just call your dad and mom, and everyone else, even though they are your relatives, you just call them by the names, right, my friend? Right, my friend? Is it really true? Asloy, okay. Asloy 86. We'll come back to that later, okay? We'll come back to that later, okay? Guys, follow me, please, okay? So, is it really true? Like, tell me, my friend, in America, is it really true that just dad and mom you would call dad and mom, and apart from dad and mom you basically just call everyone else by their name, right, my friend? Is it true? Is it true? Is it true, my friend? In America, in UK as well, okay, so in UK you guys also just call everyone else by their name as well, right? No, that Dabizel is actually usually aunt or uncle name. Oh, okay, so it's aunt whom and uncle, for example, Uncle Bob. Are you in America? I'm in Shanghai, my friend. In Australia too. Okay. Oh yeah, right. Grandma, grandpa, dad and mom, uncle, auntie. You guys would call. So wait, what about brother-in-law, sister-in-law, father-in-law, mother-in-law? Like you guys call them a brother-in-law, father-in-law? Because from the American drama I saw on TV, they usually just call brother-in-law, father-in-law, mother-in-law by the name, directly by the name. Wait, so oh, unless like Barry, you're not from the US, right? You're not from the US. Okay. Yes, it looks like people call stepdad also by their names as well, right? Cousins by the name, right? Typically in-laws by the names. Wait, what do you mean by typically in-laws by the names? Yeah. Okay, let me see. In Native American culture, it's very common to call an elder auntie or uncle. So, like, you guys would call auntie or uncle. So, say, for example, if you just meet a person randomly on the street and that person looks like the kind of aunt or uncle age to you, like, do you call them aunt or uncle, or you just call them hi? How do you address them? For example, if you just meet someone who seems to be like an uncle or aunt age to you, like how do you address them? How do you call them? Like my friends, please tell me. In-laws are by actual name. Step parents actual name. Okay, yeah. So step parents and in-laws are always by the name, right? That's what I see. But like people who has blood connection to you, like mom, dad, auntie, uncle, like you just call them mom, dad, auntie, uncle, grandma, grandpa, right? Yeah. And what about like brother-in-law, sister-in-law? Like you also just call them by well, not in-law, like your elder brother, your elder sister, you also just call them by the name, right? Yes, okay. Elder, yes, I would say uncle if they were in the indigenous elder. So, which means that if you meet someone randomly on the street who seems to be your uncle or aunt age, you actually just call them. Well, it should be sir or ma'am, right? TT, I think you're correct, right? So you would call them sir or ma'am. You actually wouldn't call them like uncle, like aunt, right? Uncle, aunt, right? Yeah. No, not in the US or West. We don't have title for strangers. Sir or ma'am. Yeah, yeah. It looks like sir, ma'am seems to be like more common, right? You just call someone senior when you see on the street who's but what about like if someone who's like very similar age to you, what do you call them? Like meet a random stranger somehow, like you want to talk to this person who's like similar age to you, then what do you call them? What do you call them? It's more honorific. How do you address people in your culture? Yeah, so I'm about to share how do we, even if they are old by their name, most people call older strangers actual name. Yeah, on the condition that you know their name, right? If you don't know their name, you would just call them ma'am or sir, right? But if you don't know the name, even if they are your uncle or aunt age, if you know their name, you just call them by their name, right? Or also like say for example for those elderly, the sir or ma'am, would they just say like, okay, just call me Mary, just call me Peter, they would actually ask the youngers just to call them by the names, right? Okay, so for the similar age, like okay, everyone is saying yo bro. What about like girls? Like would you also call girls you bro? Like similar age? Similar age, like what do you guys call them? Yes, okay. Good morning. The first time I came to a live studio. Welcome, Asher. Have you followed me? Hello, friend. Whoa, that sounds so official. Hello, friend. Okay. You might have just asked their name first. Okay, interesting. I hope I can become friends with you. You will, my friend. Just have more interaction in the live stream with me. Hi, ladies. Ah, right. It sounds right. It sounds right. Yeah, that's like how people call, right? Okay, interesting. So, in summary, is that if you guys meet a stranger who seems like your uncle or aunt type of age, you guys would say sir or ma'am. If it's like similar age, then it's yo bro or hi ladies. Well, what about girls? Like girls, when you meet girls who are similar age, like would you also say like hi ladies? Sounds a little bit weird. Like so if a girl you see you yourself is a girl, right? You yourself are a girl and you see a girl who has a similar age, but as a stranger, you don't know her name. Like how do you say like I feel like hi ladies is more like a guy to girl, right? You with similar age and you would say hi ladies, right? But what about girls meeting girls, stranger girls? Like what do you say? What do you call them? How do you call them? Like I'm pretty sure you guys don't say hi sister or hi girlies. Okay. Hi girlies. Okay. Hey girlies. Okay. hmm That sounds better. Well, because hi ladies sounds more like a guy saying that to girls, right? Sir or ma'am is common in the south. It's seen excessive up north. Hey girl. Oh yeah. Hey girl. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. That's right. Yeah. Hey girl. Yes. Okay. All right. So a girl sees a girl is like, hey girl, right? And a guy sees a girl that is like, hi ladies, right? Okay. Yeah. Hi guys. Oh yeah. Hi guys is also right, 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 right. Yeah. Okay. Now I remember everything. Now I remember everything. Yeah. You guys are right. Yeah. You guys are right. How long is a Chinaman? You try it yourself, then you'll know. Okay. Usually saying that if we don't know the person, just say hi guys. Hi go. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you so much, my friend, for teaching me all that. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now I get it. Okay, so if I go to the US or some other Western countries and if I see someone who's like way older than me, senior than me, then I'm just gonna address them by hi sir, ma'am. Is there anything I can help you with? Something like that, right? So if someone who's like similar age to me, it's gonna just be hi guy, hi girl, something like that, right? It looks like closer, okay. Because like in China, like how we so okay, compared to the US, right? As long as someone who's like senior older than me, as long as this person looks like our aunt or like our uncle's age, we just call them uncle or aunt. No matter what. Like no matter they are really our aunt or uncle, they have blood connection or they don't, we call them uncle or aunt. Yeah. So for example, we see someone on the street, if we directly translate this sir or ma'am, like sounds like too official. 先生，有什么我可以帮你的吗？夫人, then these are sounds like too official in don't say hi girl. Why don't say hi girl, my friend? Why don't say hi girl? I would say hi and ask their name. Okay. Yeah, so 大姐、小姐姐、大哥、小哥哥，哦，我这个一定要讲一下。OK，这个王太太讲的太有意思了。Yeah, so like for example, if it's someone like very senior in China, right, we would just call them uncle or aunt, even though it's a stranger on the street. We wouldn't say like ma'am or sir because that sounds like too official. We usually just call them like 叔叔、阿姨，有什么我能帮忙的吗？Like uncle, aunt, like right. That's how we call them, right? And also, if it's like a similar age, we actually just don't call anything. We just say hello, and then just come to the things that we want to say, and we just don't say hi girl, hi guy. We just say like hello, and then that's something what I'm about to say or something like that. Yeah. And also like in our own family system in China, we actually call different people also not by the name, but by the seniority. Like, for example, I call my parents mom and dad, right? Once I am married, I also need to call my parents in law mom and dad. So also like sometimes it's always like mom and dad, right? So for example, when I and my husband we're talking about our parents, it's always like mom and dad, right? So sometimes people are very confusing, like young couples when they get married. So which mom and which dad are you talking about? And there's a very interesting joke. One of the content creator in China made a content about like two couples inside a car, and the husband is saying like, so your mom, and the wife is like, what? Why do you say your mom? My mom is your mom now. You should just say mom, right? And the husband's like, oh, okay, mom, right? And then and he's like, so my mom, and the wife is like, your mom is my mom. Why are you saying your mom, right? It should be the mom, right? And then they're like, okay. So the husband's like quite pissed off. It's like so mom today said that if we go to the mom's place, then we should do blah 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 what? And because mom said that, because like then the wife is like has no idea which mom is he talking about, because we call our own mom and our in-law moms both moms, right? So also some young couple, like in order to just show the difference between mom and mom, they will say like, okay, if it's my mom, it's gonna be mom. If it's my in-law, if it's my mom, it's gonna be mommy. And if it's my in-law mom, it's gonna be mom. So when talking about mommy, that means my mom. It means if we talks about mom, that means the in-law mom, something like that. Pretty funny. Yeah, so confusing, right? So for example, like in our home, like when we talk about mom, so we have to first clarify, okay, which mom is it? Are you talking about my mom or are you talking about your mom? Because we call them both moms. Right. Oh my god, almost like a tongue twister, right? 啥玩意儿？确实很绕哈。就我刚才在说，我们中国叫那个我们自己的妈和我们的这个 in law 的妈、岳父岳母、老丈人、老丈母娘都是叫叫那个叫什么？公公婆婆都是叫妈的嘛，right? And it might be like really really confusing, right? So 刷到过这个视频对吧？我当时看到笑死了。Yeah, yeah. So when the very beginning, when I first saw some American dramas and saw like many Americans people that you just call your in-laws by their names, that's considered to be quite impolite. That is considered to be really rude in China, right, my friend? Right, my friend. Yeah. So if we meet our in-laws, we would usually just say we just usually call them uncle or aunt. Yeah. So like you guys just like American people, you guys just call your in-laws like by their name. So according to the Chinese culture, that is definitely considered to be really rude. I'm pretty sure in most of the Asian culture, this is considered to be quite rude. So I feel like in especially in Korean culture, right? If you meet your in-laws for the first time, right? Your girlfriend's or boyfriend's parents for the first time and you call them by their name, especially in many of the Asian cultures, no matter it's Korean culture, Chinese culture, or Japanese culture, that is definitely considered to be quite rude. But you could also not call them mom. You couldn't call them mom. You could only call them aunt and uncle, because in China's tradition, you could only call your in-laws mom or dad after you got married. And in order to have you change the calling from uncle and aunt to mom and dad, the in-laws will have to give you a red envelopes full of money, which is called 改口费. That's the money they pay you so that you now change the way of you address how you address them, change the way you call them from aunt and uncle to mom and dad. Yeah, so that's like also a very interesting tradition in China. Yeah. So as a son or daughter-in-law, if you change the way of calling your parents-in-law, that you actually earn some monies because they have to pay you so that you now change the way you call them. Yeah. 改口费给红包嘛，对吧? Yeah. Can I ask for more money? You can. You could just do like you could just do like start like looking at, oh, there's an envelope here. Yeah. Oh my god, I have everything. There's actually money in it too. Oh, that's not enough. Uncle and aunt, give me more. I need more in it so that I'm gonna change how the way I call you. This is too little, you know? You could actually do that, right? But do it in a very subtle way. So it's more like it's more about, so it comes back to the wedding tradition, right? It comes back to the wedding tradition. So we have actually shared before, like when people get married here in China, so both parents would actually give some money to the young couple as a start for these to start their family, right? So the red packets actually come in different ways, right? Some of the red packets are considered as a gift, like 彩礼 or 聘礼，对吧？some of the gifts, some of the red packets then are used on the day of the wedding. So on the day of the wedding in Chinese like wedding ceremony, usually in the morning time, the broom will have to pick up the bride in the bride's home. So inside the bride's home, when the broom, was able to get into the bride's home, usually there's a lots of like lot of tricks before the broom could get into the bride's home because according to the Chinese tradition, you would only value someone if you find it really hard to get the person, right? So when a groom comes to a bride's home to pick up the bride, so the bride's families and also the friends of the bride would actually just set up lots of obstacles for the broom to overcome. For example, okay, you need to do how many push-ups before you could come into the room, something like that, and also give us red packets in order to get into the room to pick up the bride, something like that. Lots of like interesting tradition. That's my favorite part. That's absolutely my favorite part. So I used to be the bridesmaid of many of my friends, right? Girlfriends, right? And whenever I was the bridesmaid, oh my God, I have so many tricks, so many ideas of obstacles, to stop the grooms to come in, to pick up the brides. And that's definitely considered to be the most fun part of the Chinese wedding, with the morning time. 接亲环节，我真的太喜欢接亲环节了。接亲环节里边，我绝对是一把好手。I still remember back then when my cousin got married and I was the bridesmaid. I was there in the morning, right? And trying to set up all the obstacles. I even asked for the underwear from my uncle, which is my cousin's dad, and said, "Hey, uncle, give me one of your underwear." Because later on, one of the obstacle I set up is asking my cousin's husband to wear the underwear of his father-in-law and do a dance, and everyone's like laughing to death when they saw that, some kinds of those like little tricks and little games, right? Yeah, so it's really funny, right? So afterwards, after all of that was done, right? So the broom successfully picked, well, it's the groom. Okay, sometimes groom and broom, sorry. So the groom successfully picked up the bride, was able to get inside the room. They have to do a ceremony, which is serving the tea to the parents of the girls, right? And the girls' parents would have to give a red packet, would have to give a red packet to the groom, not the broom, okay? Give it to the groom because that is called 改口费. Change the way of calling fee, okay? 改口费, change the way of calling fee. So the parents of the girls will then give a red package to the young couples so that the young couples will now use the money to start their family, right? And the groom will have to change the way of calling his parents-in-law to mom and dad. I like broom ball. Yeah, also in some countries tradition, like you have to jump the groom, right? Like jump a broom, something like that. Yeah. Are you Chinese? Yes, I'm Chinese, my friend. 100% Chinese. Yeah, patriota. Yeah, so that's a very interesting tradition here in China. Yeah. What's the wedding tradition in your country? Because I remember like in US, I remember some people told me that in America there's a tradition of jumping over the groom, something like jumping over the groom. I don't know about that. At the very beginning, I thought that was a joke, and then people told me that well, it's actually a tradition, really a tradition here in the U.S. that you guys like jump over a groom. That's the kind of like tradition you guys have over there. Yeah, is that U.S. tradition is divorced? Really? What's the divorce rate in the U.S.? What's the divorce rate in U.S.? Yeah. Do Chinese men give dowry to the bride? What is dowry? Dowry. What does this word mean? I've seen this word, but I don't remember the meaning of this word. Dowry. What does it mean? Let me have a check. Dowry. Oh, okay. 嫁妆. Dowry. Yeah. Dowry. Okay. So, yes, we give dowry. So, actually, both husband and wife will have to give dowry to each other. One is called 聘礼, one is called 彩礼, usually given by both parents, both families to each other's family. However, dowry are like the format of dowry is like very different, very different. So some of the dowries are like in money. Some in some places the dowry can be seafood, coconuts, those kind of very interesting things. Because I remember several years ago I had a Hong Kong friend got married, and like both him and his wife are from Hong Kong, right? And they showed me the Hong Kong tradition, which is several days before the wedding. So the husband will have to give the wife the dowry in the format that, so they have to set up a kind of a, how to say it，一个台，一个台，就好像是拜的那种台。I have to set up like a table, like a, it's not like a random table, okay? You have to set up like a table, like really decorated. Well, there are actually companies specifically making those type of tables, okay? So on top of the table, there are lots of like different seafoods, and just so you know, seafoods are really expensive, right? If you talk about those like really high quality of seafood, right? Say for example, fish maw. Do you guys know fish maw? Does anyone know what fish maw is? Does anyone know what fish maw is? 花椒. Basically, fish maw is a seafood, but it's pretty good for ladies because it provides lots of collagen. It's like a lot of people in Canton area really like to eat fish maw. Okay, so one fish maw can be like super super expensive, right? If it's a good quality fish maw, right? So say for example, they would get sent fish maw, and they would then buy fish maw, and also like those like very expensive seafood. Let's see what's the other example, right? 花椒是一个，还有什么海参？怎么说海参呢？Sea cucumber, right? High quality sea cucumber can also be really really expensive, right? And also what else? 还有什么贵的什么？but you guys have a general taste, right? What kind of like really, really expensive seafood, right? Then they would place all those buy. The husband will then buy all sorts of like very expensive shark fin, exactly, shark fin, right? All those like expensive seafood kind of as a dowry and place them on those like, delicately decorated table. And then they would have like a ceremony before, the real wedding, like something like that. Yeah. 东星斑, yeah. Abalone. Yeah, you guys know all those kind of how is fish maw made? It's MAW. It's MAW, fish maw. McDonald's is expensive now. I remember seeing on content creator, one of the content creator posted a video of how they got married in McDonald's in China because wedding is so expensive here in China. Yeah. So fish maw, I think, is made using the stomach of some of the fish. 花椒应该是鱼肚吧? Right. Yeah. Stomach. The stomach of the fish. So it's made using stomach of the fish. So basically, if it's a giant fish, then stomach of the fish is pretty big as well, right? So they would clean the fish and then dry the fish, right? The stomach of the fish until it becomes like so dry, it becomes the fish maw. Yeah, it's stomach, right? Yeah. So like how you cook it is that first of all, you'll have to put in water, dip in the water for several days, actually 2 to 3 days, so that it will become like saturated with water. Fish maw is swim bladder. Oh, it's bladder. Okay. So it's not stomach, it's bladder, right? Okay, swim bladder. Yeah, I don't know like exactly which organ is that of the fish, but it's definitely like in 内脏, how to say 内脏, innards, definitely one of the innards of a fish. Yeah. So somehow like and as a matter of fact, because of the shape of fish maw is sometimes in a some of the fish maw's shape is like how to say it. Okay, I'm just gonna say it, right? Some of the fish maw's shape is very much just like men's that thing kind of shape, right? So in ancient China, people actually use fish maw as condom, right? Some in ancient China will actually remember in one of the Chinese movie Ye Wen, I remember there's a scene that actually the leading actress is cleaning fish maw because the shape of it is very similar to the shape of men's thing. So that's why, like in ancient China, some people use fish maw as condom. Yeah. So that's like also pretty. Does it work? I don't know, my friend. Like nobody use that nowadays, right? Nobody use that nowadays. Does it work? I guess so. I guess so, right? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, and guys, follow me, please. Okay, follow me, please. Yeah. So that's basically what happens, right? And also, Yeah, fish mall. So that's the kind of tradition, and that is crazy. Yeah, you guys could just actually Google it and see how does fish mall. What is well? Actually, let me do it for you guys. Okay, I'm just gonna show you guys what's fish mall like, so that you guys immediately get to know about it, right? Okay，我们来看一下花椒长什么样哈。为什么花椒在古代可以当避孕套？我们来看一下。Okay, yeah, guys, see fish mall. This is like the fish maw, the shape of fish maw. Okay, so now you guys can understand like, why it can be used as a condom in ancient China when there's no condom at all, right? Yeah, so that's like a very typical fish maw. So you have to put in water for a very long time so that it will become like really big. Let me see if I can find a fish maw after it's okay. So like for this lady, she has actually already put a fish maw for in water for several days. So you guys can see like the fish maw becomes a lot bigger like that, right? And also becomes a lot softer. Yeah. So that's why it can be used as. Oh yeah, this one. Can see it can be like really, really big. Really, really big. Yeah. I never tried that. You should. Like it's very chewy. I really like it. I like the taste of fish maw. I really like eating it. So the way we cook it is by cooking fish maw together with chicken broth. Okay, so it makes sense, right? It makes sense, right? Yeah, so pretty tasty, and it's also very good for the body. Fish maw is very nutrient and has lots of collagen, so especially good for the ladies. So many of the celebrities in China, especially the female celebrities, they actually eat lots of fish maw. Yeah. Okay. I just commented on your video. Okay, great, teddy bear. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out later after this live stream. Yeah. So that's like about fish maw. Okay, guys, follow me please. Okay, follow me please. You haven't done so. Yeah. Question: what is a good area in China with a big family? What do you mean? Like you want to move the entire family to China? Is that what you mean? Yeah. So that's like the kind of tradition in Hong Kong, like when people get married, right? So for everywhere in China, so one of the common tradition we share is about giving red packets. So that's why I say that when two young people get married, so they used to just call their parents-in-law uncle or aunts, and after they get married, then they need to call their parents-in-law become like mom and dad, right? And also the reason behind that is because you want to show intimacy. So in Chinese tradition, when you are married to someone, you actually immediately become part of their families as well, right? So your parents-in-law are also become one of the most important people in your life. So you also have the obligation to take care of your parents-in-law. So yeah, we also discussed about it before, right? In China's tradition, that actually younger generation has the obligation to take care of the older generation, and that is considered to be a virtue in China, which we call it 孝顺, right, my friend? So, and however, in the US and Western countries, it looks like when people get older, they just take care of themselves. That younger generation don't have the obligation to take care of the elderly, right, my friend? Is that right, my friend? So, because of those kind of differences, that is why, like, for once people are married here in China, then we would also treat our parents in law just like our very own parents. So, say for example, if the parents in law are sick, also, especially in traditional China, right? Especially for the brides, once they are married to a man's home, it is their absolute obligation to take care of their parents in law. It's kind of a tradition, and because of that, lots of women in ancient China actually had a very bad life because some of the mother-in-laws are just very hard to deal with, right? So,几点？每天是7点半到9点半，每天7点半到9点半早上中国时间，会开播，OK，同志们，guys follow me please, OK, follow me please. So that's why like it's a Chinese tradition that once people are married, like it's a bigger family, right? So younger couples no longer only take care of their own parents, they also need to take care of their parents and laws, something like that. Yeah. So that's why like when I watched Families, how many of you guys have watched Modern Family? I heard like Modern Family back then was like super super popular in the US. Like literally everyone watched it. It's really true. Have you guys watched Modern Family? How many of you have watched Modern Family? Tell me in the comments if you have watched Modern Family. Type one. Type one if you have watched Modern Family. So when I watched Modern Family myself, it was like pretty eye-opening to me, right? So how they showed like three families, like one family, I guess Phil and Claire's family is just a very ordinary family, right? Of couples with, three children, like it's pretty like commonly seen, right? However, when it's when the dads, right, Gloria, like I really like Gloria, right? Oh my god, she's amazing, very funny, right? That is what we call 老夫少妻, like older man, younger woman, right? That's also a wife from other countries, right? That's a exotic family, and also the gay family, right? A gay family with adopted daughter, Lily, right? Also very exotic, right? So it's pretty funny. I really enjoyed watching Modern Families back then. Yeah, so many people have watched it. Okay, it's a big show in the U.S. Yeah. It was a big show, but I never watched it. Yeah, could watch it. It's pretty fun. It actually used a very interesting way to show the conflict between different families in the US. And it's like so funny. So funny. So for Chinese people, when we watch Modern Family, it was also like pretty eye-opening because like, to be honest, like in China, like those kind of families are not very common. So, for example, Claire and Phil's family are pretty common, like right, just a couple with several kids, right? However, for the dad's Gloria's family and also for the gay couples, Cam's family, these are not very common. So, how you see those families interact with each other is like pretty interesting. Yeah. What's a good place to visit in China? There are many places to visit, my friend. It really depends on what you want, my friend. Hiking, right? You really depend on what you want. If you're looking to see some beautiful sceneries, then go to Xinjiang, Yunnan. If you want to good food, also Xinjiang and also Sichuan for spicy food. So really depend on what you're looking for. There are so many great places in China that's worth visiting. China is definitely a country that's worth visiting like several times. Well, unless you stay there for 1 year and travel around the entire country, right? Otherwise, like definitely worth like several times visiting because there are so many places to visit. It's a big country. Just like you wouldn't say like US is a country that you can only just visit one time and you're finished visiting every places inside the US, right? Because there are so many places to see, right? So same with China. Spicy rabbit. Yeah, well actually not spicy rabbit. They actually even eat rabbit head in Sichuan. Yeah, rabbit head. Yeah, in Sichuan, 兔头. 兔头 is pretty common in Sichuan. Yeah, right. But that's only common in Sichuan, not common in rest of Asia, rest of China. People in other places in China don't eat rabbit head. So I remember, so there was a time that I traveled to Sichuan a lot because I really like the spicy numb taste of Sichuan food, right? So I would travel to Sichuan a lot. So whenever I traveled to Sichuan, it was so funny that I tasted this rabbit head, and I also have brought rabbit head back to Hong Kong, where I lived at right back then. And then I brought the red habit to the office, and people don't dare to eat at all. It was like, oh my god, rabbit head, no, it's like that. So eating habits in different places in China actually varies a lot. Varies a lot. I'm thinking that you do not see all the questions, right? Because whenever I talk, then I just don't catch all the questions. Yeah. So if you guys have any questions you really want me to answer, just keep on sending repeatedly in the comments, okay? Just keep on sending in it repeatedly in the comments and I will catch the question and I will definitely answer it, okay? Yeah. It was an experience to visit Beijing, but it's not so good looking place, but I had fun though. Wait, why do you say Beijing is not so good looking place? What's in Beijing that is not so good looking? Yeah, so I'm from Shanghai, my friend, because so I'm from Shanghai. I was born in Shanghai, so that's why like I definitely feel like Shanghai is better than Beijing. To be honest, I am not a huge fan of Beijing. Yeah, even though Beijing is very rich in culture, however, compared to Beijing, I definitely prefer Shanghai way more. Yeah. Also, there's a lot of culture difference between Beijing and Shanghai. So they're saying that Beijing people are more friendly and more welcoming to outsiders compared to Shanghai people. So for that part, I agree. And also, there are people saying that so Beijing Well, okay, it's a very interesting phenomenon. So for Chinese people in the live chat room, you guys can tell if what I said is true. For people who have lived in both cities, in Beijing and Shanghai, they actually describe one phenomenon, which is like Beijing people really like to hang out with others, and Shanghai people just like to hang out with people inside their intimate circles. So I cannot say for the Beijing part, but I can definitely say for the Shanghai part that is so true, right? So when I go out, I hang out, I would just hang out with friends that I'm familiar with and in my intimate circle. So if there is someone who just called me and say like, you know what, Jane, there is a dinner in here and you need to come. There are just people from other places, we are just gonna have fun and hang out. The moment I hear that, oh, there's so many strangers I don't know about, then I would immediately just say, no, I'm tired. Maybe next time, something like that. I would not go. However, if it's like a dinner where there are all the people that I know about, it's like in my intimate circle, then I would go. But people said that if in Beijing, like many of the Beijing people would actually just go to those kind of dinner parties, even though like they don't know anyone inside the dinner party, they would just go. Right. So that's said to be a very big culture difference between the two cities. And also there's a foreigner made a content about like he used to live in Beijing and somehow because of job reason he need to relocate to Shanghai. And he said that, after relocating to Shanghai, he was like finding people here to be like compared to people in Beijing seems to be more like Paris people kind of thing. Like because when he said like excuse me, I need to get off the train, like people are just like look at him like that. But I don't have that kind of feeling. If someone foreigner said, "Excuse me, are you getting off the station now?" Something like that, I would definitely be really, really polite with that. Yeah. So he's not nice to Chinese people. Who is not nice to Chinese people? Yeah. Terracotta Warrior Museum in Xi'an. Yeah, if you guys haven't checked Terracotta Warrior Museum, definitely check it out. It's pretty amazing, pretty amazing. But make sure don't visit that place during public holidays in China because that's going to be really crowded. Yeah, your teeth are so white. How can keep it so white? I brush it very carefully every day. I brush it very carefully every day. I'm going for Chinese New Year. Are you sure you want to go for Chinese New Year? Because that's the time where China's pretty crowded. Or maybe not. Well, actually, that's not the time China is crowded. That's the time when the ticket price is most expensive. It's during Chinese New Year, actually China is not crowded because many people actually are just going back home to have a reunion with their families. So for example, in Shanghai, most of the time you will see lots of people on the street. However, during Chinese New Year, you see less people simply because everyone is back home and have a family reunion with the family. Also, just because of that, everyone is back home. So lots of places are not open because everyone is back home. So, for example, I have showed you guys the 24-hour spa, the 24-hour spa center in China, right? 洗浴中心, right? And many of the 24-hour spa center, 24-hour spa center, those kind of a 24-hour spa center, they don't actually open on the eve of Chinese New Year and on the very first day of the Chinese New Year. So they usually start on the second day of the Chinese New Year. So if you come during Chinese New Year, it would be best, my friend, if you come in Chinese New Year, if you have a local Chinese friend and you could spend the Chinese New Year with a local Chinese friend and experience like how they celebrate the Chinese New Year here, especially in rural areas. So to be honest, nowadays in modern cities like Shanghai, we don't have lots of like 年味, especially because of the air pollution problems once in one of the years, and all of a sudden that we no longer could play fireworks in Chinese New Year. So for our Chinese New Year, you don't feel like really Chinese New Year kind of vibes in city center of Shanghai. However, if you go to the rural area of China, like especially the very very rural areas, even like villages, that's the places where they have lots of Chinese New Year vibes and they have all sorts of like very interesting traditions. Like people would dress up very differently. They would actually cook a whole table of different food. People would dance and celebrate a lot. So that's like how Chinese New Year is like. So definitely more fun if you want to come in during Chinese New Year, my friend. Try to see if you could find some friend who's home is from like rural area or village area in China, and you could spend the Chinese New Year with them. And there, that's gonna be like terrific, like so much fun. Yeah. 主播说话和美国同事很像，练听力。好的，Follow me please, guys. Follow me please. I sent you a DM. Hope to hear back from you later this evening. Sure, Lauren. Yeah, after my live, I'll check your DM. Yeah. Red envelopes with money. Yeah. Red envelopes with money. Hey, guys, have you followed me? Follow me, please, okay? Follow me, please. Guys, have you followed me? Please definitely follow me. Yeah. I can also actually send the red envelopes here. Let me see. 我来发一个红包好，看看怎么发红包。Yeah, let me see. How can I send the red envelope in here? 互动红包 OK 好像已经发 OK guys I actually on red note I have already sent a red packet and follow me and try to get the red envelope okay follow me and get the red envelope okay guys just sent a small red packet since we were talking about red packet right we're definitely gonna have some red packet electronic version of red packet yeah so guys follow me and go get the red packet okay follow me go get the red packet even though it's not the physical red packet it's red packet but the thing is same so inside red packet there's some money yeah so definitely follow me and go get the red packet there okay how long is your New Year holiday? So in China, the Chinese New Year holiday is usually 1 week long. Very soon, very soon, we're gonna have our May Labor Day holiday, which is also like, wait, is it 5 days or 7 days this year? So for some years it's like 7 days off. Some years it's like 5 days off, like public holidays. So people around China will have like 5 days or 7 days off for this public holiday. So that's also the period of time you basically just see everywhere so crowded of tourists and travelers. And that's also the time where ticket price, hotel price is skyrocket high. So my foreign friends, if you have a choice of coming in here, definitely. Oh, 今年是5天是吗? Okay, this year is like 5 days. So if you have a choice to select which day to come in, definitely come in at a time when it's not so crowded. Definitely don't come during the public holiday like the May the 1st. Yeah. 早啊，大家. Yeah. Did you hear what the vice president said about China? Yeah, the Chinese peasants. Well, we're proud to be the offsprings, the descendants of Chinese peasants. I mean, like when you hear someone like him to say like China peasants, you know, in Chinese opinion, like in our opinion, we would consider this person to be so undereducated, has no manner at all when he said like publicly, right? Something like that. Yeah. So, anyhow, yeah. Okay. Actually, 2 days. What do you mean by 2 days? You only have 2 days off for your Labor Day? Why? Why? Okay, guys, follow me, please. Okay, follow me, please. On red note, there is a red packet I just sent. Since we talked about red packet, I just sent a red packet. And how you are able to get the red packet is by first of all follow me, and second, just grab that red packet. Okay, just grab that red packet. Yeah. Okay. So let's switch the topic because the moment we talk about those kind of things, then it's considered to be quite sensitive, and my traffic will be limited. Yeah. What's the best time to visit China this year? Depending on where you want to visit, but usually like some well, springtime and autumn time are the best time to visit China. Spring and autumn are both actually the best time to visit China because the weather is really nice and relatively warm, but not hot, not cold, you know. And like also, for example, for springtime, you could actually come visit. And for example, in March last month, right? So many people said you guys would go to Japan to watch cherry blossom. As a matter of fact, so many cities in China has beautiful, beautiful cherry blossoms as well. So that's why, like, if you get 5 coin, right? Congratulations. Yeah, 红包完了哈，大家抢到了吗？ Yeah, did you guys get the red packets, my friend? Did you guys get the red packet on Red Note? I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, and thank you for new joiners. For those of you who haven't joined, haven't followed me, don't forget to follow me and definitely join my team. Okay, join my team, my friend. On Red Note, join my team. Right? Yeah. Are there pyramids in China? We don't have pyramids in China. That's in Egypt, my friend. That's in Egypt, right? But we have Great Wall. We have Great Wall. I got 7. Like you got 7 days off for May Labor Day. That is terrific, my friend. That is fantastic. Yeah. And also like we were talking about like what were we talking about? What were you talking about? How does Chinese to manage sadness when a loved relative dies? Ah, is that what's going on with you, Martin? Is that what's happening to you, Martin? I'm sorry to hear that, okay, if that's what happened. Okay, so like in China, if that happens, and here, so first of all, there is going to be a very, relatively speaking, quite grand kind of funeral that we would throw and also find a graveyard to bury the pass away. And then lots of people, then every year during Qingming Festival, people would then visit the pass away relatives to show we still care, we still love. Yeah, that's the kind of tradition. Mm. Yeah, yeah. So let's see, what are the other things? Loss of skin in China. Oh, yeah, yeah. We were talking about the cherry blossoms, right? We were talking about that. So in China, we were saying that, well, people were asking when is a good time to visit China, right? I said springtime and autumn time, right? For example, for springtime, you get to see lots of different flowers blooming in China. So I shared before, I actually also brought people out to see the cherry blossom live because even though Japan has lots of beautiful cherry blossoms, here in China, we also have lots of beautiful, beautiful cherry blossoms, trees. And cherry blossom is most beautiful when they are blooming all at the same time, all at the same time. So when you have like so many beautiful cherry blossom trees, they are in grow in the same place and all of them are blooming, you see like clouds of like cherry blossoms, just like pink marshmallows. So beautiful, right? So well, actually I'm about to post a video of back then in March that I visit those kind of cherry blossom pedestrian, like those pedestrians full of cherry blossoms, and how beautiful is that? And like very Japanese vibes, but that's something you get to also see in China. So in springtime, right? Also, we have like other sceneries during other seasons. So spring is warm, not so chilly, not so cold, and autumn is like pretty, not so hot, pretty also like good weather as well, right? Yeah, Kunming with beautiful flowers there as well, right? So yeah. Do you know Kung Fu? I wish. It was a stereotype for many Westerners that thought like every Chinese people know Kung Fu, right? Well, do you actually, well, how many of you guys actually thought like every Chinese people know Kung Fu? Let's see. Like, do you guys have actually have the stereotype that every Chinese people know Kung Fu? So is there a moment in the past that in your mind that, you know, we all know Kung Fu? My foreign friends, tell me. If yes, type one. If yes, type one. Okay. For example, when you were little, when you were like not knowing a lot about China, so was there a moment in history that you actually thought like every Chinese people know Kung Fu? Type one if yes, type two if no. Type one if yes, type two if no. Okay. Okay, great. Maybe back in the day that was the stereotype. Oh yes, right? There's someone said yes. Yeah, there's someone teacher Quinn said yes. Wait, what's three? What's three? So every time I ask people to type one or two, there are always people type three, four, five, six, seven, something like that. Okay, majority of people, there are people actually type one. There are people who actually believe that every Chinese people can do kung fu. Sorry, Karate Kid got me to think so. Oh, the movie Karate Kid by Jackie Chan, right? Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan movies. The true stereotype about China is Chinese women all look good. The true stereotype about China is Chinese women all look good. What does that mean? So you have the stereotype that all Chinese women look good, and afterwards you discover that all of us don't look good? Is that what you're saying, Willis? Yeah. I grew up watching Bruce Lee. So you know what? I actually haven't watched lots of Bruce Lee movies. Yeah, so I watched lots of Jackie Chan movie because my dad was a huge is still is a huge fan of Jackie Chan. I remember when I was little, like my dad plays Jackie Chan's movie every day in our home. So I was like really into Jackie Chan's movie because his movie is also pretty funny, right? He does lots of kung fu, but at the same time, he tries to be very funny. For example, when he beats someone, he would like doing something like that, right, my friend? Yeah. Do you guys watch more of Jackie Chan's movie or Bruce Lee's movie? Like, if you watch more of Bruce Lee's movie, type one. If you watch more Jackie Chan's movie, type two. Because after I started an account on TikTok, did I realize like Jackie Chan is how huge Jackie Chan is across the globe. Like, like so many people around the world like loves Jackie Chan. I really don't know about that. Yeah, yeah. So wait, is one Jackie Chan is two Jackie Chan? I forgot. Did I say like one for Jackie Chan or did I say one for Bruce Lee? Yeah. I'm Black American. We love Jackie Chan. Yeah. So like I see like a random video of Jackie Chan on TikTok could just attract like 50 millions of people to watch or like. So I was like, oh my God, I never realized Jackie Chan was that big. Was that big, you know? Yeah. I watched lots of Jackie Chan movie myself as well. Like he was funny, yeah. And at the same time, like he also plays really good kung fu. And Jackie Chan is and there's also another very famous kung fu star in China called Jack Lee. Jack Lee. Do you guys know Jack Lee? Oh, Bruce Lee is one and Jackie Chan is two. Okay. Yeah, a lot of Bruce Lee movie fans. Well, to be honest, I haven't really watched lots of Bruce Lee's movies. Well, uh Li Lianjie, do you guys know? Oh, it's Jet Li. I thought it's Jack Lee. It's Jet Li? Li Lianjie. Do you guys know Jet Li? Yeah, 李连杰 right？李连杰是 Jet Li，不是 Jack Lee 吗？我记得是 Jack Ma。Yeah. Do you guys watch Jet Li's movie as well? 李连杰. He's also like a very famous kung fu star. So I feel like Bruce Lee, followed by Jackie Chan, and followed by Jet Li. Yeah, there are also some other like kung fu star like Zheng Zidan, right? Also Wu Jing, but they are not as famous as Jet Li and Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee in the world, right? 肖战就算了吧，你突然间来一个肖战，我不知道说啥。肖战不是功夫演员吧？Yeah. Another one that's pretty famous in America right now is Michelle Yeoh. Yeah, yeah, Michelle Yeoh. Michelle Yeoh is like really famous in China as well, my friend. Yang Zichong is like everyone know about Michelle Yeoh. She's actually Malaysian, but back then in the 80s and 90s, she played in lots of the Hong Kong movies. So we watched lots of Michelle Yeoh's movie as well. Like she was the Oscar award winner for 2 years ago, right? 2 years ago, right? Yeah. So Michelle Yeoh is also like very, very, very famous in China. Yeah. Yeah. What about Zhang Ziyi? Yeah. Do you guys know Zhang Ziyi? Like she's also like quite very famous when it comes to many of the kung fu movies. Also a female. Yeah, Michelle Yeoh is pretty amazing because it's pretty hard for an Asian like female actress to gain a world award like Oscar Best Actress, right? So it's pretty amazing. Yeah. Have you guys watched the movie she played in that got her the Oscar award? What is called in English? What's Yeah, she's Malaysian. She's actually not Chinese. 她好像是马来西亚人嘛，应该是的。Yeah, Michelle Yeoh. She's not Chinese, but she's Malaysian when it comes to nationality. However, her family, origin of her family is Chinese, so that's why she can speak Cantonese, Mandarin very well, and also English. Yeah, Michelle Yeoh. Yeah, I don't like her Oscar-winning movie, but I like Crouching Tiger and Hidden Dragon. Me too. To be honest, I don't really understand at all. Oh, okay, guys, 1 minute to go. So, like, guys on Red Note, can you guys actually tap the screen to sending me likes? Help me reach more higher ranking within 40 top 40. Yeah, keep on tapping the screen to send me likes, okay, my friends, and join my team. Follow me, please. Just 1 minute to go. Okay, follow me, join my team, and keep on tapping screen to sending likes. Let's lift the ranking. Right now I'm only 45. I want to be within 40. Okay, guys, help me. Okay, keep on tapping the screen to sending likes. It's 1 minute to go, so definitely, and also join my team, and also send this like yellow tickets 人气票. You guys do that. Help me, please. There's 1 minute to go, and I'm still like pretty lagging behind when it comes to ranking. Didn't notice the time is almost 9. So every 1 hour they would have this kind of ranking, so that if you are higher in ranking, they would give you some like rewards. So that's why we want to have a higher ranking. Okay, guys, send me more of the 人气票. Okay, it's 9 o'clock. Yeah. Anyhow, thank you guys. Yeah. Sorry, I should do it earlier. I forgot. Yeah. I forgot. I forgot it. Yeah. Anyhow, yeah. Thank you, my friend. Yeah. 下次要早一点做，忘记了。Yeah. Everyone give gift, please. Thank you. Yeah, guys, follow me, please, if you haven't done so. Okay, follow me, please, if you haven't done so. Yeah, I'm number 4 now because it's after 9. So usually they would see people's ranking at 9 sharp, 8 sharp, this the 整点, right? Somehow like I should do like 2 minutes before. Yeah, next time I know it. Yeah. So because if you are able to rank within top 40 by the time of each clock sharp, then they will give you some rewards as a whole, like for example, extra traffic and push your live stream to other people. So yeah, 人气这么好，怎么不卖货呢？将来会卖。我现在还在建物流，建好了以后就会了。OK，yeah，谢谢你的这个建议。And guys, follow me please. Okay, follow me please if you haven't done so. Okay. All coffee now. What does it mean? Yes, I've lost my mom recently, but I've heard Chinese generally don't believe in afterlife. Martin, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry to hear that. Well, we do believe in afterlife actually in China. And also, like in Chinese, we say we have this kind of karma that if people have done many good things in their life, they're going to have a very good afterlife. And also in Chinese, in our tradition, we also have this kind of saying that we would have like 转世投胎. Very soon, your mother will come back to this world just in another format, right? Maybe she would become a butterfly, a beautiful butterfly, or she would just become another person and still beside you. So we do have those kind of afterlife of belief. I'm pretty sure, like even though your mom has passed away, she's gonna have a beautiful afterlife, and also she would transform into some other format, like beautiful butterflies, for example, a beautiful bird still be with you, and yeah, and I'm sure you'll go through it. I'm sorry for that. Yeah, and guys, follow me, please. Okay. Yeah, go follow me, please. Yeah, let's see what's the other topics we could discuss. Oh my god. Yeah, thank you. Now, like seems like you guys are all sending in like gifts and also sending in so many likes that once after 9 o'clock, I immediately got number 4 on the ranking list, which is like the top, the very top ranking I've got. But now it's 11, which is still very good. Where are you in Shanghai? What do you mean by where are you in Shanghai? I'm just in Shanghai, right? Yeah. That's fine. Stay on topic. Yeah, sure, my friend. Mm. Okay, you're touching your nose again. It's a habit when you get emotionally moved. No, the thing is that whenever I talk a lot, like my nose just become very itchy because I have this kind of like how do you say 鼻炎 province, like 鼻炎. So I just couldn't resist like touching my nose because this part becomes so itchy. Yeah, that's a personal habit. It's not because I'm lying, my friend, because judging from what I'm talking about, there's nothing to lie about, right? Yeah. May I know what you do for a living? So I am entrepreneur myself, my friend. May. I'm entrepreneur myself. So I actually work on multiple startup projects myself. Yeah, some allergies, yeah, exactly. Especially when it's springtime, because springtime is a time when there is like more allergy than usual. So I feel like definitely a lot more allergy now than before. Yeah. I saw you did an interview with my friend from East Europe. So Gyogi is your friend? Go Global with Dragons. So Gyogi is your friend. You know Gyogi in person? Yeah. So Georgi is from Bulgaria, and I did an interview with him. So he currently lives in Shanghai. So how I am able to meet him is actually just randomly meeting him in the park. So every Sunday, Georgi from Bulgaria, currently living in Shanghai, would organize a workout, like having a bunch of people, they just we just stand in circles and we do like HIIT and Tabata workout every Sunday in the park in Shanghai. So the other day, like when he's doing that, and I was like, oh, okay, that sounds really fun, and I should join as well. And so I walk up and said, hey, can I join? And they were like, yeah, come on, join us. And then like we did that. That's how I am able to meet Georgi. Yeah, yeah. He also told me multiple times about Toastmaster and invited me to go to Toastmaster as well. Yeah. You're not Pinocchio, can confirm everything you say about China true. Yeah, I'm not Pinocchio. Even though my nose is itchy, it's not going longer, my friend. Shanghai food or Guangdong food? Definitely Guangdong food, my friend. Even though I'm from Shanghai, not a fan of Shanghai food at all. Okay, don't like Shanghai food at all. I like Guangdong food very, very much, my friend. Cantonese food is so much better, and Cantonese food is good in a way that it's not only tasty, but at the same time, it's very healthy. So people in Guangdong area cook food by using boiling, not spoiling, steaming and boiling a lot. So compared to all the other ways of cooking food, right? You can roast it, you can fry it, right? You could bake it, you could put them in the oven. Like compared to all the different ways of cooking food, steam and boil are considered to be the most healthy way, the healthiest way of cooking food. So in Guangdong area, the Cantonese food, okay? So Guangdong area people like Hong Kong food. Yeah, Hong Kong food is like Guangdong food, Cantonese food. So they cook food using lots of steaming, lots of boiling. At the very same time, they could still make the foods, taste so delicious. That's like really amazing. For example, in some other part, for example, Sichuan, right? They use lots of strong spices like the pepper, the the peppers, right? The chilies, right? To make it tasty. So the kind of thing you taste is not the original taste of the food ingredients. It's not the vegetable itself, it's not the meat itself. What you taste is all the spices, all the herbs you put in it, right? And also for example, for area in Xinjiang, in in northeast part of China, they also use lots of spices and herbs, right? So when you eat food, you're actually eating the spice and herbs that makes it taste very strong. And they would also use lots of grilling, right? Fry. Those are the ways of cooking, which is very, very heavy with oil. So what happens when you eat too much oil? What happens when you eat too much oil? When you eat too much oil, then that's gonna add lots of burden to your heart, right? To your veins, right? So not definitely not good to your body. So there are also scientific studies showing that if people having those eating habits of putting lots of like oils in it, like lots of salt in it, those are the type of people who are more likely to get heart attack or like strokes, right? So for Canto area, Cantonese food, yeah, high cholesterol, yes, exactly. However, for Kanto area, when I can follow every word you say, amazing, love you too, my friend. Have you follow me? 你會說上海話嗎？當然會得講咯，阿拉上海我講得老好，好吧？上海人從小就嚟嘅上海長大，所以講上海我講得老好。Yeah, and also like right back to the topic, right? So like for Kanto area, for Cantonese people, when they cook food, for example, dim sum, like how many of you guys have tried dim sum? Have you tried dim sum? Like dim sum is pretty popular in Western countries as well, right? Guys, follow me, please. Right? In dim sum is pretty popular in America and UK, right? In Chinatown, there are lots of restaurants that have dim sum. So how do you cook dim sum? Basically, you just steam everything, right? So you don't put lots of like spices and lots of chili sauce and lots of herbs to make it taste like really strong. It's usually just the taste of the original ingredients of the food. So that's the most amazing part about Cantonese food. So they could keep the original taste of the ingredients at the same time cook it very, very healthy. So also if you look at the entire China, look at the lifespan, right? People, for example, in Hong Kong, which is one city inside the Canton area, right? Hong Kong people's lifespan is like really, really, really long. You are very good. Yeah, so like I remember for the average lifespan for people in Hong Kong is above 80 years old. Above 80 years old. Toronto has lots of dim sum restaurants, right? Because back then lots of Cantonese people actually migrated to migrated to Canada. So like also because my cousin also currently live in Canada, they told me, for example, in city of Toronto, Vancouver, there are so many Chinese people. And well, many Chinese people are from Canton area, so they actually speak Cantonese. Yeah. I like your hair, how you set it. I used to have lots of problem with setting the hair, but somehow recently I got to know how to make my hair so the hair starts to look nicer, right? Yeah. It's not very easy to do, but maybe I can make a tutorial and teach you guys how to do it. It's not easy, but at the same time, it's not too hard. Yeah. So I have to first straighten the hair. You have to first of all straighten, like for me, I would first of all straighten the hair and then use a heater, what's it called? 卷发棒 to curl it. Yeah. Yeah. So that's why like when people ask me between Shanghainese food and also the Cantonese food, I'm definitely gonna pick Cantonese food for sure, for 100% sure. Yeah. But you guys make me want to eat Shenzhenbao, which is Shanghainese food now. Yeah. So there's only like very, very little things in Shanghainese food I really like. For example, 生煎包我是很喜欢吃的，桑吉 yeah. So like I feel like majority of the Chinese cuisine is not so tasty. It's only those like the breakfast kind of type of Chinese cuisine that is like quite tasty. For example, 生煎包 is quite tasty. 我和它有起送价，有起送的话，我还吃不吃生煎了？算了，不吃了，要不中午再吃吧。Yeah. 可以实时翻译中文吗？中文不太好，听起来很麻烦。啥意思啊？你中文不太好，还是英文不太好？What's hard? What's up? How are you? How are you, my friend? Favorite Chinese food is egg fried rice. What? Your favorite Chinese food is egg fried rice? Oh my god! Then you are missing so many other tasty Chinese food. There's so many Chinese food out there that is like way, way, way more tasty than fried rice. Like every Chinese people can do egg fried rice. Every single Chinese people know how to do it. Yeah. Remind me of a girl I knew from Shanghai who I met in Yongkong. What is Yongkong? Not you, I hope. Okay, have you guys followed me? Follow me, please, if you haven't done so. Okay, egg fried rice is the best. Really? 对，有那个红薯宝宝说下载讯飞同传翻译就可以看到中文了。OK，可以试一下哈。然后还有说是如果有一些手机上面是有 AI 翻译功能的话，好像也可以直接翻译，可以直接翻译。Yeah. There's so many other. Well, I have to admit, I also consider egg fried rice to be quite tasty. However, you know, when you say like egg fried rice is your favorite, then I'm pretty sure you haven't tasted many other Chinese food. Well, it's true that even egg fried rice have several types. You're right, for Yoni. So I grew up in Chinatown in New York. Love it. Chinatown. There are lots of food in China. So that's why, my friend, you need to come to China to taste the real Chinese food, okay? It's better than it's better for you to grow up. Well, not better. I mean, like, the fact that you're growing in Chinatown is already a lot better than many other Americans, people who don't grow up in Chinatown, and all the Chinese food they know about is just General Cho Kitchen, chicken, and also Panda Express, because these are not Chinese food, like really bad Chinese food, okay? So growing up in Chinatown, I guess like you know a lot of like at least some good Chinese food, yeah. I remember there is a restaurant in New York called Madame Chu. So exclusive. Have you ever visited this restaurant? I remember the name of the restaurant is called a Madame Chu. Panda Express is panda shit, yeah. So in New York, I remember back then when I visited New York in 2017, there was a Chinese restaurant called Madame Chu. Just go look it up, my friend. If you're in New York, okay, definitely go look it up. So this restaurant called Madame Chu. Yeah, you have tried it, right? It's pretty good. Yeah. So I still remember they have this like egg dumplings, 蛋饺. The dumplings made using egg dumplings is really really nice. I really like it. I was brought to this restaurant called Madame Chu in New York by a Chinese friend, and later on I brought my entire like colleagues, like the entire class of colleagues, to the very same restaurant as well. Right? Yeah, there are lots of like very delicious restaurants in New York as well, and like different types of cuisines. I remember back then in the US, I also went to an Italian restaurant. Italian restaurant. So, okay, so that was a story. Okay, another story. So back then, I told you guys that I work in an American firm, right? So when I got promoted, they actually had all the promoted people gathered together in the headquarters in New York, and had a training for all of the people. So you have people from Asia, like Chinese, like myself, right? And also you have Italian people from their Italian office, and also people from South America, like literally everywhere. So somehow become a routine that, you know, for people from different countries, we're going to just show the entire class of the trainees to a restaurant to show them the local food. So it was very interesting that so in my turn, I brought everyone to Madame Chu in New York. Like everyone tasted Chinese food, because compared to the other like Chinese restaurant, I consider Madame Chu to be the restaurant which has like beautiful interior design and at the same time have like tasty food, but not like too exotic Chinese food, like the kind of taste that foreigners could accept, right? So we brought them there. And also I remember this Italian girl brought us to an Italian restaurant, like really, really local Italian restaurants, and was had the, oh my god, like one of the definitely the most amazing night ever. Like Italian people, Louis the Cat, are you still in here? Italian people, you guys are like, oh my god, when you guys have dinner and you have like the music on, you guys are so crazy. And I love the crazy vibe so much. I remember like everyone, like you have a napkin, right? You have a napkin. Like at the very end of the day when we had dinner and we had some alcohol, everyone was standing on the chair and doing this. Is it a very Italian thing? Is it a very Italian thing? So like everyone was like doing this and singing at the same time, like, oh, so happy. That's definitely the happiest night ever. One of the happiest night ever. Like Italian people, Italian restaurant, Italian dinner. There's like Italian band to play Italian music. And then everyone was like so happy and standing on the chairs. And some people even stand on the table and just like throwing napkins like that. And everyone was singing. It was like so fantastic. Fantastic. That I guess that's Italian style. Yeah, so I really wish to experience that again. I really wish to experience that again. So that was definitely a very, very fun night. Yeah, there are also like some South American friends also ordered tacos. Like we had a taco lunch, lots of delicious taco. Oh, the taco they ordered is so delicious. Like I'm a huge fan of a guacamole sauce. Like really like guacamole. So when putting taco, lots of cheese in it and guacamole. I call guacamole avocado sauce, okay? So you put guacamole avocado sauce in it and also beef in it and have a bite. Oh my god, heaven, heaven. Yeah, there's so many delicious food across the globe. Yeah, so many delicious food. I grew up in an Italian family, right? Okay, so do you guys also do that, like throwing napkins like in your family during dinner time? If you want good tacos, you should come to Texas or California. Should I just not just go to Mexico directly for good tacos, my friend, rather than going to guacamole is an avocado sauce, right? Right. So back then I didn't remember the word guacamole. So I remember so there was a one time. So there's a English girl, like she works in the London office, and she went out and she like, hey, Nitrous, do you want me to buy takeaway for you? I said, yeah, sure, sure, sure. Just go to the food court and see what's out there and just call me and we see what to order. So she said, like, okay, I feel like taco today. Like, do you want me to buy some taco for you as well? Like, yeah, yeah, sure. And she asked, what's flavor you want? And I said, yeah, I want the avocado sauce one. And she laughed. She's like, ha, 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 what avocado sauce? That is called guacamole. None of my Italian friends throw things. Maybe we're boring people. No, not throw. What is called? I'm just shy. They do like this. They don't throw. They don't throw. They're just like doing that. It's like cheering. What's the English word of this action? What's the English word of this action? Yeah. Oh, wave. Oh, yeah, yeah. They just basically wave, not throw. Sorry, wave. They wave the napkin. They just wave the napkin and singing and dancing, and everyone standing on the chair. Yeah. So it was like really fun night. Yeah, fun night. Aya Maya. Someone said like free Uyghurs. Oh my god. You need to know more about China, my friend. Have you ever been to Xinjiang? Go check Xinjiang, see everything with your own eyes before you come to this conclusion, okay? Yeah, let's see. What's the others? What's the others? Waving. Okay, waving. Okay, that's called waving. Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah. All right. California Mexican food is on a different level than Mexico City. Wait, what do you mean? So California Mexican food is even better than the Mexican food in Mexico City? Is that what you're saying? Really? Because usually food is best when it's like from locals, not from, oh, you guys really want to eat tacos today. Yeah, yeah. Wait, the only people able to work with my hair in Italy are Chinese. Wait, what do you mean? Like you go to Chinese like barbers to cut your hair in Italy? Yeah, but I heard like the Mexican food in Mexico City is like terrific, terrific. So, but there are people saying that California Mexican food is better than the Mexico City Mexican food? Really? Really? I doubt it. I doubt it. I doubt it. Really? Because usually, like, I wouldn't say, like, okay, the food in Chinatown and New York is better than the Chinese food in China, right? I wouldn't say that. So, Willis had a question for you. What's the question, my friend? Let me see. What's Willis' question? What's Willis' question? California Mexican food. Yeah, I saw that California Mexican food is on a different level than Mexico City. I saw that. Yeah, so there is an there is an uncultured person saying Mexican food is better, and let's be nice, okay? I think like he has his opinion. Let's respect different people's opinion, okay? Let's don't call them uncultured person, okay? People can have different opinions, right? For example, for me, I've been to Korea multiple times, right? I've been to Seoul many times. However, in my opinion, I would think the Korean food in New York City, Korean town is better than the Korean food in Seoul. So in my opinion, because I really like the Korean food in Korean town in New York, so people can have those kind of opinion, right? So McDonald's in China is better than McDonald's in America. Really? The McDonald's no, no, no. I feel like the McDonald's are basically the same because I've tried McDonald's in the US and that's basically the same McDonald's in China. It's just that after McDonald's and KFC came to China, they would introduce some local flavors. For example, they would introduce, for example, I remember it's KFC or McDonald's. They used to introduce like Peking duck rolls, Peking duck tacos, something like that in China. However, the taste is very very same, very very similar. I think. Yeah. So like here in Chicago, us there's Chinatown better food in China. I've never been to Chicago, so I'm not sure about the Chinese food in Chinatown. Yeah. So there are like amazing restaurants out there in other countries. I'm pretty sure about that. Even though they are Chinese food, but they are like amazing Chinese food, right? I said about like Madame Chu in New York City. So that's a Chinese restaurant, and that is a really good Chinese restaurant, right? Mm. So of course you can find very good Mexican food in California. Oh, I went to California twice, and unfortunately, I never tried Mexican food in California. That was a big pity. A big pity. I didn't know that California has great Mexican food. If I knew, I would have visited those like Mexican restaurants. Yeah. Well, actually, my friend, can you guys tell me what are the good, any name recommendation of the good the Mexican food restaurant in California? I'm gonna definitely write it down because I'm pretty sure I will visit California one day in the future, and then that would be the time I could visit those like fantastic restaurants there. It's a globish kitchen for people that not used to not used to spices. Texas has the best Mexican food. I'm pretty sure about that because like Texas is very close to Mexico, right? And also there are many Mexican living in Texas. They definitely gonna cook lots of delicious Mexican food there, right? California was Mexico before it was. Oh, really? Really, guys? Really? So California was Mexico before it was California? Really, my friend? I don't know about that history. Okay, time for American to teach me some history lessons. Is that really true that California was Mexico before it was California? And Texas also. Okay. Madison, Wisconsin. Okay, so all those states were Mexico and then later on become United States. Oh, really interesting to know. Very interesting to know. Until 1848 it was Mexico. Texas and California, we're both Mexico. Oh, yes, interesting. Oh, I never know about that. Wow. Thank you for telling me that. Interesting to know. So apart from California and Mexico City, what are the other states that was Mexico? Or only just California and Texas? US bought how could US bought California? Wait, when you say like US bought California, what do you mean? California was Spain, also Mexico. Wow, interesting. It was all bought from Napoleon. This is why you get traditional Mexico dishes in Texas and California. New Mexico, Arizona. So New Mexico also was Mexico. You guys made me feel like every part of the US is Mexico. And Arizona, New Mexico. Nevada is also Mexico. Wow, interesting to know. Alaska is also was also Mexico. New Mexico has the chilies. No, only the south. Oh, okay. So majority of the southwest part of the US was Mexico. Oh, no, Alaska knows. Okay, let me see. California, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado, Nevada. Oh, okay. Wow. Good to know. I never realized that. I someone said Singapore is Mexico. Yeah. Okay, interesting. Hmm. Good job. Thanks for the likes. Thank you for showing your appreciation to Nitrix. Yes, thank you, my friends. New knowledge, right? No talk. Yeah, I don't know about that. So Alaska was Russia. Okay, ask DeepSeek. It was very interesting. Okay, I'm gonna have a chat with DeepSeek and have a chat with GPT as well, to understand a bit about the history. Yeah. So USA bought hmm, bought USA purchased Alaska from Russia. Okay, so USA purchased lots of land from other countries. So it purchased, like I saw, like California, Texas, Nevada. What else? Nevada. What else? I ever forgot those states. What else? I remember altogether there were Arizona, Colorado, New Mexico, right? Okay, California, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado, Nevada. Okay, 6 states from Mexico. Okay, Mexico must be really poor to sell so many states to the US back then. So did USA really just purchase from Mexico or they just force purchase it? Very curious to know. And next is Greenland. Yeah, someone said like, "Hey, oh, okay, if Greenland happens, would China help us?" Something like that on TikTok. Next is Greenland. USA needs to sell California. Okay, interesting. Would China help Greenland? I don't know. I seriously don't know. Yeah. Mexico, yeah, so Mexico is so FAMAA7. I saw your question, so I could tell you in a very subtle way because I'm also doing a live stream on Red Note, and that is considered to be a really sensitive topic. Okay, so I fear that if I talk in depth, that will my live stream would be banned. So one of the advice I give you is you could actually open an account on Red Note. And there are lots of like Uyghur friends in China from China doing live stream. It would be better just to go to their live stream and ask them how do they feel. That would be a better way. Okay. Yeah. So I hope that answers your question. FAMAA7. Yeah. Just open account on Red Note. Red Note. Okay, that's a Chinese app. There are like many millions and Chinese people out there, and so lots of content creators or live streamers are actually from Xinjiang. So you could just go to their live stream and ask them directly about those questions. So what they share with you would be a lot better than what I share with you here, right? And I also agree with Spicy Dog. Teach yourself not to believe the lies, right? Yeah. USA procured through the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, which ended War of 1848. Wow, Louis the Cat, you're really a history nerd. You know the history of so many different countries. Wow, you know this history of so many countries. Yeah. Well, I already find like remembering the history of China to be quite hard because there's so many history. You know so many things about like different countries and different history. That is amazing. And also like you know so many languages. How high is your IQ, my friend Louis the Cat? How high is your IQ? You must be extremely, extremely smart. And I'm so glad to have you in my live stream. So honored. So honored. Yeah. So forced purchase it. Yeah, that's my guess. I guess that's like forced purchase. It's not like hey, can I purchase? It's definitely a forced purchase because no country would wish to sell their lands, right? Whenever they sell it to some other country, it's always forced purchase, I think. So Mexico has lost the war, so as they lose playing soccer. Okay. That's a very funny way of saying that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, also in China history, in Chinese history, some of the Chinese land was also forced, leased, not sold, okay, leased to some other countries because we lost the war. Like, for example, Hong Kong was British colony for like how many years, right? Back then it was because like China was weak and lost the war, and that's why like China said like, okay, we're just gonna give you this land. But like unlike Mexico, who basically just sold the land, we are like, we're not gonna sell the land. We just gonna lease the land to you, and after so many how many years you're going to return the land to us. So that's why like in 1997 Hong Kong was returned to China. 99 years, right? Yeah, I remember it's 100, around 100 years. So 99 years it was returned back to China. So from, yeah, and also Macau, yeah, right. So I guess, right, so I guess I guess that's the what's going on, right, in China. I guess like China, relatively speaking, was a little bit smarter so that we didn't sell it, right? Because later it proves that all these like Macau, Hong Kong has proved to be a very good city with lots of economic values, right, to the country, right? Yeah. Smart is just a social construct, right? Yeah. Okay. So my friend, let's just not send those like political kind of questions on Red Note, okay? So I really fear that it's not only about this live. Your account might also be banned on Red Note, okay? So let's just not refrain from sending in those like political sensitive kind of questions or comments in the comment area on Red Note, okay? It's okay to send that in on TikTok, just don't do that on Red Note, okay, my friend? Yeah. So my view, like very short answer, is that I definitely are on the same side of my country, right? Definitely on the same side of my country. Yeah. Yeah, guys, join my team, okay? Join my team. And oh, okay, I should also do something like this. I forgot today. Mm. I should also do this. Okay, so right now, guys, you see there is a group, right? Join my group. Okay, so on Red Note, my friend on Red Note, you guys could join my group if you haven't done so. So join my group and join my team, join my group, join my team and join my group, okay? Yeah, so join my team is how you're gonna, help me push this live stream to higher ranking and also so that my live stream can be shown to more people and also help me get free traffic. That's how Red Notice works, right? So join my team. So how you're able to join my team? You could join my team both on TikTok and also on Red Note. Okay. So there's a button out there. Like once you follow me, there's the button somehow becomes another shape, right? Just press that again. That is how you're able to join my team. Okay. So join my team, 亮一下粉丝灯牌。Yeah, same name on TikTok. Yeah, exactly. Nitrous 456. Nitrous plus 456. That's my name on TikTok. Okay. And so for people, like if you want to continue chatting after the live stream with me and also with some other followers of mine, could join this chat room here. Okay. Join this chat room here. Okay. So like I already have like many chat room already. Still there are a lot of people joining and every day like people are just talking and sharing a lot. It's definitely fun to join this chat room as well. Okay. So definitely join this chat room if you haven't done so on Red Note, okay? So somehow on TikTok they don't have this kind of feature of forming chat room, so I don't have it. Yeah. Yeah. So thank you so much, my friend, for coming to the live stream today. And we had another amazing day of 2 hours of live stream today. And thank you so much, my friend. You guys always say thank you to me, and I always feel like it should be my honor, and I should be the one to say thank you to all of you guys. Yeah. Yeah. And thank you so much, DM, for replying to Pharma7. Thank you. There are many things I can discuss here on the live stream, and it would be great that you guys could help explain to those people who don't understand. That is fantastic. And for those of you who haven't followed me, definitely follow me, okay, my friends. Follow me, please, if you haven't done so. And thank you again for coming to the live stream. And just so you guys know that I usually have my live stream from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. China time, okay? Just transfer the time to your time. That's when I will do my live stream daily. And also, there will be a recording of the live stream on YouTube and on Bilibili. Okay, so if you don't catch the live stream today, what you can do is you just could follow me on YouTube and Bilibili. Okay, same account name, Nitrous456, and you'll be able to find me there. And that's where you'll be able to see a recording of the replay of the live stream. Okay, yeah, and thank you so much, my friend. And feel free to follow me. Feel free to join my team. Feel free to join my chat group here. Okay, my friend. Thank you so much, my friend. Okay. And that's all for today. Thank you and goodbye. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Okay? Bye bye.